Welcome to the Sage's Wisdom Inner Transformation Show, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets modern living. I am Dr. Shelah Harris, aka Sara Ahavah, my author pen name. Some of you might know me by the name of Dr. Shelah Elliott. I am honored to guide you on today's transformative journey. In this episode, we will explore how to create more blessings in your lives using a profound wisdom of Kabbalah as shared with us in the book Attaining The Worlds Beyond by Dr. Michael Laitman. This ancient wisdom teaches us that blessings aren't random gifts but natural result of aligning ourselves with the flow of divine light. At the core of today's discussion is the ancient wisdom of shifting from egoism, focusing on self-centered desires, to altruism, focusing on a life rooted in love, giving, and kindness. Through this shift, we become channels of light, attracting more blessings, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us. Stay tuned for practical strategies, timeless insight, and heart-centered reflections to help you embody the teachings in your daily life. Let's dive in. Understanding Kabbalah and the flow of blessings. Yes, Kabbalah is more than an ancient wisdom. It is a roadmap for understanding the spiritual laws that govern the universe. One of its central teachings is the concept of the divine light, often referred to as Ein Sof, meaning infinity. This light is the source of all abundance, joy, and fulfillment in our lives. But here's the thing, this light isn't distributed arbitrarily. It flows into our lives based on how well we align with its principles. Imagine a stream of water. When it flows freely, it nourishes everything in its path. But if there is a blockage, the water is diverted and its benefits are lost. Similarly, our spiritual alignment determines whether we experience the fullness of blessings or feel disconnected from them. The primary cause of these blockages is egoism. When we focus solely on self-serving desires, seeking material wealth, recognition, or control without regard for others, we create spiritual barriers. This isn't to say that we mustn't desire good things, not at all. In fact, Kabbalah teaches us that receiving is essential, but the intention behind our desires matters. Are we seeking solely for ourselves, or do we wish to receive so we can share with others? Shifting from egoism to altruism, the act of sharing, giving, and thinking of others, is the key to becoming the channel for this light. The shift doesn't just bring blessings to us, it allows us to radiate blessings outward, creating a ripple effect in the world. I remember so well when this was brought home to me. I was shocked because I came from a background where hard work was taught, and I was led to believe that all I need to do was to work very hard. I should use my intellect to do everything that I have to get in this world. And of course, I did so, not knowing that if I was just focusing on what my needs are and not thinking or lack the capacity to consider about the impact of my behavior on others, or to think about what they need and ensure that their needs are factored in my decision, then I will inadvertently hurt them and, of course, create blockage in my life. Egoism obviously has its place, but there has to come a point where we have to see it for what it is and shift from it. So by now you have got a glimpse into what it takes to create more blessings. In the book Attaining The Worlds Beyond, it shares with us to bring more blessing into our lives, we must become a channel for that light for others, not just for ourselves. Let's take a short break. Take a moment to reflect. Where in your life might egoism be creating blockages? Where in your life are you blocked as a result of egoism? How can you shift your focus to include the benefits of others? I'm going to share a story with you. I remembered so well I had a significant challenge in my life at the time, and I spoke with someone in a faith-based organization, and the person listened attentively and recognized I was very overwhelmed by what was going on at the time. And the response I was giving: you have allowed this situation to take over your entire life. You are overwhelmed by it. You're thinking about it. You're overthinking the situation. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to shift your focus from yourself and think about things you can do for others that will make them feel good about themselves. Just forget about all the doom story, the doom feeling you are experiencing right now. Go to your neighbors and look for things that you can do for them. Sure enough, I listened because this is the person I respected. I went off to my neighbor. There was an elderly neighbor next door whose garden was in need of attention. I could see that the garden was very neglected, so I decided to go there and help them do their garden. I swept the front garden and tidied it up for them. I remembered the lady is called Madge. She opened the door and said, "God bless you, Shelah." And I left. I wouldn't want to tell you what happens next. Tremendous amount of shift happened in my life. I did not make the connection, in all honesty, at the time. Equally, I so remembered I used to work for Amnesty International years back. And I remembered I'd experienced what I called an unfair treatment. I have been bypassed for promotion, treated differently from another accountant. And I felt very, very hurt by it. But then I reflected, after trying all my ways to address the issue, none of which worked, by the way. I let it go. And then I began to apply for another job. I applied for 3 jobs. In fact, these were senior positions. I applied for 2 deputy finance director jobs and 1 finance manager's job at the time. I was a management accountant at the Amnesty International at this time. So both jobs were senior to management accountant. I was offered all 3 jobs. All 3 jobs offered me an interview and a position. There was I fighting for a lesser job. But just by focusing my attention and just leave everything and just get on doing nice things to people around me at the time, I helped people who needed help. I trained people. I just had all this blessing coming to my life. And I did not make the connection. So today, you know, blessings come into our life when we align ourselves with nature's law of love and kindness. Okay, let's now talk about how we can shift from egoism to altruism. Let's unpack the idea of egoism versus altruism in practical terms. Egoism isn't inherently bad. It is a natural part of being human. It drives us to fulfill basic needs and achieve goals and protect ourselves. However, When egoism becomes the sole driver of our actions, it isolates us and disconnects us from the source of light. For some of you, you might be asking, what is egoism? Perhaps this is your first time coming in touch with this term egoism. Well, think about it this way. I will define egoism as a state of consciousness that think only for the self, devoid of the importance of others. In other words, I only think what's in it for me, what benefits me. I process information only in terms of what benefits me. I never see the other side of how it hurts other people or how it impacts other people. In fact, when others express their desires, if I have no benefit in it, I discount it because it's nothing to do with me. So in other words, I am totally disconnected from others. I do not care about them. All I care about is what I need. Egoism is self-centered. It's selfish. It's greedy. And it's self-love at its extreme. It is a quality that is different from altruistic qualities. Egoism is anti-connection, anti-harmony, anti-love. Anything that will create a situation in which it has to think of others, it will run away from because it doesn't serve its needs. And because of that, it cannot receive for the benefit of others. Altruism, in contrast, is expansive. It is the consciousness of love. It's the conscious choice to transcend self-interest and focus on the well-being of others. This doesn't mean neglecting oneself or one's own needs, but rather it's about integrating your desires with the greater good of others. So by now you could see that there is a big contrast between egoism and altruism. The fact is, at the core of our being, we are all egoists. But each and every one of us have to transcend our egoism in order to become a channel of light for others. In Attaining the Worlds Beyond, which this entire inner transformation show will be based on, there it tells us that there are two forces that operates in our world. There is the force of receiving and the force of giving. In order to become a channel of blessing, to bring more blessing in our lives and the lives of others, we need to balance these two forces. The force of receiving is egoism. The force of altruism is the giving force. So let's look at practical strategies to shift from egoism to altruism. 1. Mindful awareness. Yes. How about starting to observe your thoughts and behaviors? Ask yourself questions like this. Am I acting out of fear, pride, or need for control? How can I include others in the benefit of my actions? For example, if you're working hard to achieve a promotion, consider how that promotion could benefit you as well as others, whether it will support your family and other people in your community. How would you benefit others with that promotion? Not just, I want this promotion so that I can use all the money to support all my needs without thinking about the needs of others around you. Next, the daily altruism challenge. Commit to performing one act of kindness every day. It doesn't matter how big it is. Just commit to doing one act of kindness every day. You would have done 365 acts of kindness if you do this in a year. It could be something as simple as holding the door for someone, or offering genuine compliment, or listening without judging or interrupting, stopping yourself from gossiping about others. Never respond when someone slanders another. Speaking kind words about others deliberately, even when you are tempted to say negative comments about that person, or simply just abstain from expressing negative comment. This simple act of kindness will create a profound shift in your inner consciousness and begin to raise your vibration, your energy and awareness around you. Now let's look at a third strategy. The third strategy: reframe desires. Instead of suppressing your desires, refine them. For example, instead of thinking, I want more money to buy a bigger house, think about, I want more money so I can create a safe, loving home for my family and host gatherings that uplift other people. This reframing aligns your desires with the flow of blessings. Now, listen, I remembered a story about a man who felt stuck in his career. He was frustrated that his efforts weren't being recognized. A mentor suggested he focus on helping his co-workers succeed. Reluctantly, he began sharing tips and advocating for his colleagues. To his surprise, not only did his relationships improve, but his own work started gaining attention. By shifting from egoism to altruism, he unlocked the flow of blessings. I can tell you so many times how this has worked miracle in my own life. I remembered so well there was one time in my life when I was out of job, and I was very angry because of the circumstances that have left me jobless. And I recall someone telling me, or someone advising me, to volunteer my service. I did so. And through volunteering my service, I will never forget what happened to me. It didn't take months for the entire life event to begin to change. I went for a job which was ordinarily was less than the standard of job I should be doing professionally. I remembered I was called by the manager, and she said to me, we are not offering you the job you applied for. We have a different job that we are going to offer you, but we want to know whether you will accept it. And dare I say, it was a higher grade job. It was in line with my qualification and my experience. And I remembered how I came back thinking, all we have to do is to trust that nature corrects everything. But unfortunately, we don't have this capacity to do so without help. At the time, truth be known, I did not make the connection between doing good and the blessing that I was receiving until I read Dr. Laitman's book. Now let's look at becoming a channel of light. In Kabbalah, there is a beautiful concept. We are vessels designed to receive and share divine light. Of course, when that vessel is corrected from egoism to altruism, which is love and kindness. The more we share, the more light we can hold. It is a reciprocal process. Giving expands our capacity to receive, and receiving empowers us to give. How to become this channel? That's the $1,000,000 question. We need to embody the quality of love. Yes, love of others, just like we love ourselves. Being kind to others, just like we want others to be kind to us. This quality of unconditional love and kindness is what holds the secret for blessings. This isn't limited to grand gesture. It is about the energy we bring to every interaction we have with others. When we treat others with compassion and patience, we amplify the light within ourselves and share it with others in the world. Can you think about how you can harness more love and kindness in your life? Now let's look at a second pointer to becoming a channel of light. Blessings to others and yourself. Daily intention. Set yourself an intention every day to do good to others. Each morning, set an intention to be a channel of light. For example, today I will uplift those I meet. I choose to see the divine spark in everyone, including myself. Intentions help you stay aligned with your spiritual goals throughout the day. Yes, begin to set intention. I'll tell you one thing I try to do every day. I always look around. There are so many things in our world we can do good towards. So many things. Our world is not short of menu when it comes to this. You could just go to social media and read some of the posts and send a word of encouragement to someone, sincere encouragement, something that you know will uplift that person. Sometimes I deliberately send messages to women who need to be lifted up, who need to be empowered, who need to feel good about themselves. Just writing something in their post and say, wow, you look good. You look blessed. Have a wonderful day. Or someone expressed something that is bothering them. You can just post a prayer hand and say something in your prayers towards them. That's true. It's an act of kindness towards a person. You might see something in the post that annoys you and you want to say something negative. Just hold it in yourself. It's part of that daily intention to do good to others. Okay, let's move on to the third point. Balancing receiving and giving. Remember, giving isn't about self-sacrifice. True altruism involves receiving with the intention of sharing. When you achieve success, wealth, or happiness, think about how you can use these blessings to uplift others. This creates a cycle where giving and receiving are in harmony. Yes. Never receive something in your life and not think about giving to others. This is one of the reasons why tithing is so important, because every time we receive something, let's say you receive money today, unexpected gift, taking 10% and giving it to the charity, an organization, a reputable organization that does good for others. Bring this receiving and giving into balance. Okay, we are going to now do a guided visualization in this section. Take a moment to close your eyes and visualize yourself as a vessel of light. Imagine a radiant stream of light entering through the top of your head, filling your entire body with warmth and love. Now picture this light flowing outward from your heart, touching everyone you meet and illuminating the world around you. Yes. Just keep visualizing the lights touching everyone. And those that you touch, all the people they come in touch with, the lights continue to touch them. And this continues 24 hours, non-stop. This light that you radiated has touched millions of people around you. Can you now see a channel of light that comes through you can make a big difference to other people's life? Because we are all connected. This is why it's so important. If we want more blessing in our world, we need to align ourselves to nature's law of love thy neighbor as ourselves. Okay, now let's conclude this episode. Creating blessings in our lives isn't just about luck or chance. It is about alignment, spiritual alignment. By shifting from egoism to altruism, practicing loving kindness, and embracing the flow of light, we unlock a life of abundance and purpose. It is about alignment with nature's law of love and kindness. Thank you for joining this journey of transformation. Remember, you have the power to be a channel of light, touching lives and creating a ripple of blessings wherever you go. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and leave a review. Together, let's spread the light and make this world a brighter and better place. Until next time, stay inspired, stay aligned, and keep shining your lights.